How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat. So I'm actually here at my grandma's house. Check out this buffalo. Pretty cool, huh? It's a little rug that she put on the wall. And then I'll take you guys out into her little room out here. So this is my grandma's, this is her sunroom. And the reason she calls it a sunroom is because there's these like, it's like 5 in the morning here right now. But she'll open these blinds over here and there's just sun coming in all the windows. That's why she calls it her sunroom. It's actually really funny because she'll just be sitting here. Hey, Jimmy, Jimmy Harryon, 你说 Hello 亚当老师，早安啊，早安。现在应该是你们的晚上 ，so 早安 ，but it's your 晚安。Mong 7215, hi Mr. Adam. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? You guys have a good day today? Oh, you're Eva. All right, hey Eva. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to see you. I have a cousin named Eva. She has the exact same name. That's really cool. It's a good name. It's a really good name. Yeah. What do you guys think of my grandma's sunroom? Pretty dope, huh? She's got all kinds of crocheting stuff. In fact, me, my brother, and his wife are all crocheting different things, but my grandma has all of this mao xian. See if I can, we've got like all these different colors over here. See if I can get it to, oh, Shaniqua, it says sunroom 是什么? Okay, so a sunroom is a room that you sit in that has a bunch of, it has a ton of sunlight because it's all windows. So you see right here, this is all glass here. And then we have this right here. They're like essentially big blinds, but they come up. And my grandma will just sit here in the sun. And she's usually, you know, sewing stuff. In fact, let me show you guys this. This is pretty cool. Let's see if I can turn this around. So if you guys check this out, we're actually making a panhuolong, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. So we've been making all kinds of stuff out here. 爱你爱我，可以晒太阳吗? Kind of. Yeah, like, I mean, if it's like in the middle of the summer, definitely. But it depends on the situation. What was going on here? My orientation's off. There we go. Yeah, you can definitely like sit, like it's like 晒太阳, but it depends on what you mean by 晒太阳. Like if you're like wanting to actually get like sunlight, like vitamin D, yeah, it's perfect. This is the place to do it. But if you're like trying to get a tan, then probably not. Yeah. What is going on? Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. So there's all kinds of people that have like tons of sunrooms. In fact, my grandma has been showing this sunroom off a ton. Like we had this guy coming over to sell insurance to my grandma, and she just brought him out here and started showing him the sunroom. And we had neighbors over here looking at the sunroom, and she loves to show it off. Hey, Alestina, how's it going? Nice to have you come in. Yeah, we're just talking about my grandma's sunroom. But yeah, she has been showing it off to all of the different neighbors. So yeah, which has been pretty cool. Let me show you guys some other parts of her house. Let's see. Okay, so this is just like the main part of the house. She's got this little fireplace. can just like turn this on right here. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah, right now it's super useful because it's pretty cold. It's starting to get, you know, it's right in the heat of, well, heat, I guess is the wrong word, but it's right in the middle of winter. But we'll keep that open so the fire can come in here. But yeah, we're starting to have snow up on the mountains. I wish I could show you guys, because like in the morning, there's, especially when you look through the sun, like the sunroom, like right through these windows over here, like through those windows, it is super cool. Yeah, that's real fire. Yeah, Alicina, yeah, that's real fire. And then 嘉豪说壁炉好好看. Oh yeah, thanks. I think it looks really cool too. Oh, you guys should check out. She also has like these like little like statues. We can go back over there. So we've got the 壁炉 right here. Yeah, this is real fire. It gets really warm really fast, which is nice. But she also has these like little statues. I love this little wooden guy. Then we have another little guy over here. Just like random cool stuff. Let me see. Yeah, I think she's got this. But my favorite out of all of them is, let's see, I'll turn the light on, is this little elephant right here. I think it looks pretty sweet. All of these were, so my grandma's second husband, Frank, he was in the military, and he got all of those statues in different places. Okay, Kent, is it hot when you when you're touching the 壁炉? Well, I mean, I wouldn't touch the glass because you would burn your hand. I mean, but like just putting it like right here is pretty warm. You know, it's like sitting next to a campfire. And then Alestina said, how to describe 壁炉 in English. So we call it a fireplace. 有火的地方. That's it. That's how you say. Oh, the eagle. Jimmy Harrion said the eagle's really cool too. Yeah, it is cool. This one right here. Yeah, it is pretty sweet. I like that. Yeah, we got the eagle. Let's see if we got some other, we do have some other knickknacks around here. My grandma loves, oh, Ren Cheng said, hi, hey, what's up? And then 1000 Waves 2501. Is that burning wood or gas? It's gas. Yeah, it's just gas. In fact, the wood in here isn't real wood. It's like a kind of charcoal, but it's carved to look like wood. And then Eva said, fireplace, 有火的地方笔记. Yep, it's a good one to know. Yeah, if I ever got like a big house, I would definitely have a fireplace. But I do the kind, you know, like there's a thing called cobblestone. It's like a bunch of round stones, and they'll put it around the fireplace. I would love to have like a cobblestone thing around the fireplace, and then I love swords. I would put my swords over the fireplace, which would be freaking fun. Ren Cheng said, what's the temperature over there? So right now, I'm trying to think how I would do it over in Celsius. So it's like 0 度right now, Celsius. So that would be 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And I've been watching the temperature like crazy, because if it's like really cold and then you have a cloud come in, you'll watch the temperature, and then if it spikes up to like 50 out of nowhere, like if you're at like 30 and all of a sudden it jumps up to 52, you're guaranteed to have it snow. Like, you know it's going to snow. It's really fun to do. And I used to watch like the temperature all the time when I was a teenager, because I loved to go snowboarding and I wanted it to snow like all the time. So we'd be constantly like watching the temperature. So yeah, Right now it's 0, but I'm hoping we'll get a spike because I really want to show you guys the first snow. Because when it snows, like the very first snow, it is the most quiet that like it's just the epitome of silence because all of the snow clouds suck up the sound. It's a really cool thing. I want to show you guys that. And then Chen Yilin said, "Hi, what's up? How are you?" But yeah, like as soon as we start like getting a spike, I definitely want to film that and show you guys because it is so cool. Like it is like it's such a cool feeling and it's so quiet. And then Jimmy Harrian said, so the temperature goes up when it snows right before it snows, right before. So like it'll be at like 32, but which is like freezing in Fahrenheit. And also it'll spike up to like 50 and then it'll start dropping again. And when it drops, that's when the snow comes. But you'll get a huge temperature spike right before it happens. So yeah, it's really fun to watch. It's I remember when I was in high school, I had a paper route. That's like where you 送报纸, right, to like different houses. And I would I would constantly be watching to see if the temperature would spike because I'd want to go snowboarding later in the day. Can you so Kent said, can you 直播 again when it snows? I'll try. It's so hard to time it, but I can try. I've been watching the temperature. Unakai said 3811 said, will you eat snow? Oh, that's sketchy, especially if it's yellow, you know. You know. But I mean, it depends. Like if it's fresh, like it just fell, you're fine. You could probably eat that snow. That's not a big deal. I remember when I would be snowboarding up in the mountains, like, and I was thirsty, sometimes I'd grab some snow, but I wouldn't recommend it because it depends on where the snow's coming from. 1,000 waves. Yeah. It's not the smartest thing to do, especially if like the air is really polluted. Some of the snow picks up dirt, which is kind of gross. It's not very good. So yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. A lot of kids in elementary school eat snow. Shaniqua said, 你们都要 what is that? 流血吗? What is that? I've never seen that character before. 积雪吗? I don't even understand what that means. Let me see. Air pollution. Oh, Donnie Amy said air pollution. Yeah, we have air pollution out here for sure. Air pollution is a really big problem right now in Fruit Heights. If you have, like especially in the winter, because the way that Utah's shaped, especially the like Salt Lake Valley, it's a huge valley with mountains on both sides. And so you have a bunch of cars inside that valley. And so you have all the exhaust coming from the cars and it gets trapped in between the mountains. And so what that does is it causes like a ton of inversion. In fact, last week, it was really smoggy. Smoggy just means like there's fog that's like ooh, but like smog is like 空气污染的那种雾. So yeah, it was really bad. Oh, 铲雪. Oh, 铲雪. Yeah, we do have to 铲雪 in the States. So I actually, that's one of the things that really sucks. When it snows like 2 feet, you have to go out. But if you have a snow blower, then it's a lot easier. Snow blower is like a machine that like you can push it like a lawnmower, and in the front there's a thing that twists and turns, and it'll suck up the snow and then it'll blow it out to the side. In fact, the place I want to show you guys, Smith and Edwards, they sell snow blowers there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, she means shovel the snow. Okay, yeah, gotcha. James Bond, what's the activity from the beginning of one day in winter? First day of winter activities. Honestly, we don't have like an official one, but we do like But if it's skiing, like if you're into skiing, and a lot of people out here love to ski or snowboard, that's a big deal. Usually people will go right up into the mountains and just try and ski in their backyard. So you'll see that. And then Ken said, I heard it's really dangerous when the road's jieping. Yeah, so it is. There's a type of ice that we call black ice. And here's a good way to think of it. So you have the like boyo, right, on the road, and it's black. And when there's like a thin like layer of ice over the top of it, it's completely透明. It's transparent. And so because of that, you can't see the ice. And so when you're driving, if you see like snow, you'll notice slow down. But if it's black ice, you don't see it, and it's easy to have the car spin out of control. That's probably one of the more dangerous things. But a lot of people in Utah learn how to drive in the snow. What makes it really dangerous, though, is when it snowed a ton and then everything melts and everybody's used to driving without snow, and then it snows again and then it stops and then it snows again. People get like used to driving without snow, and they go back, and there's usually a ton of car crashes the day that the snow happens again. So yeah. And then Eason said, Adam, 现在在哪? So right now I'm in Utah. Specifically, the city that I'm in right now is called Syracuse. But if you go to if you go to Salt Lake City, you'll see, if you go to a map, you'll see the Great Salt Lake. There's Salt Lake City. I'm actually right next to the Great Salt Lake. Like if I drove west for like 10 minutes, I would be in the Salt Lake. So I'm really close to that right now. Then we got user DT3LICY1H. 你们拿汽油烧雪吗? Yep, I did. That happened when I was a kid. Man, that was so scary. We put gasoline on my dad's basketball court, and it melted the snow and it mixed with the gas, and it made the gas spread out even more, which caused the fire to get bigger and bigger. It was pretty scary. Thousand Waves says it's scary when driving in snowing days because black ice may happen on the road. Yeah, so sometimes you'll get black ice, which is pretty sketchy. User DT3LI, yep, I'm in Meiguo, exactly. Sandy Chun, sunroom is so amazing. I wish my grandma was here to hear you say that. She would tell you all about it. She would be showing off all the different things. Ren Cheng says, how do you learn to read Chinese? Cool. Well, one, I just think Chinese is interesting. But two, I honestly think if you're an English speaker and you don't know how to read, it's a lot harder to speak. Like you got to know how to read characters, because you can see the character in your mind. Because think about it, in Chinese you have 事情的事,我是的事. You also have 方式的事, right? They're all the same tone. And so in order to keep those differentiated in your head, because I used to teach Chinese in junior high, right? I would always tell the kids, you got to learn the character, because it's going to help them keep those words separated in your mind. But yeah, I just learned it through a lot of practice. I would just read out loud, and then I'd always ask questions like, why does this character mean what it means? And I would try and figure out why. And if I didn't know why, I would just make up a reason until I found out the real reason. But yeah. Ken said, Salt Lake, Yanhucheng, does it taste salty? So the lake is actually, Salt Lake is the second saltiest body of water on the planet. It's 8 times more salty than the ocean. The only place that's saltier than the Great Salt Lake is the Dead Sea, which is by Israel. So yeah, it's really, really, really salty in the Great Salt Lake. In fact, it's so salty that people can go out and lay on the water and they'll just float because of the high salt content. It's really funny to watch. Yeah. Vivian said, I had been to Syracuse a long time ago. Syracuse, Utah? Really? That's awesome. If you've been out here, that's crazy. Vivian, oh yeah, it's freezing. Yep, you've been here. Yeah, it does get pretty cold in the winter. It gets really, really cold. But the cool thing about Utah cold is it's a dry cold. So as long as you got a couple layers on, you'll be fine. I think if you go to New York and you wear like a winter coat, because New York is like that 湿冷, right? Like 非常的潮湿. And so it just goes right through your clothes, no matter how many layers you're wearing. I went to New York 1 year for Thanksgiving, and it was super cold, and it didn't matter how many like layers I wore. I was freezing. Um, Hugolin, I can't see the character, so I'm not sure how to say that. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. It says, "Have you finished breakfast?" I haven't yet. I just barely like woke up. I'll probably eat after, but usually what I eat for breakfast, I'm not a fancy guy when it comes to breakfast. I just eat some oatmeal, and my grandma has some canned peaches that she canned last year. They're so good. The peaches out here are amazing. So I'll have some of those, and I'll cook some eggs. That's usually my first meal of the day. And then Thousand Waves. What's the upcoming holidays in Utah? Thanksgiving. Yes, Thanksgiving's the next big one. And that's actually in 2 days, which I'm excited for. My grandma's, she's already getting stuff ready. I told her like 2 days ago, I wanted water chestnuts wrapped in bacon. I was like, "Do you know how to make those?" She's like, "No, but I'll figure it out." And I saw her come back with a recipe yesterday. I'm excited, but we're gonna have turkey, we're gonna have mashed potatoes, stuffing. I don't know do you guys know what stuffing is? Like, it's like this, it's like, it has like breadcrumbs in it, and it's like different kinds of vegetables mixed up. It's pretty good. Shaniqua, it says, 这次作战会议是要看什么店啊? Okay, good question. So, what I want to talk about with you guys is I want to take you guys to my favorite store in Utah. It's called Smith and Edwards. Now, the reason that this store is interesting is because it started out with 2 guys in the military, and they just like sold used car parts, but over time they started selling more and more things. So they started selling like military gear, and then they expanded into even more stuff, and now they sell steel-toe boots. They sell canvas jackets, like, you know, those jackets you wear that are like really thick, so like it blocks glass or like nails or knives or anything like that. Like they have guns. In fact, my brother and my dad are gonna go with me. I'm not sure, my brother might not go, but I know my dad's gonna go with me, and he'll tell you guys about the different kinds of guns they sell there. They have shotguns, rifles, handguns, assault rifles, and my dad was gonna talk to you guys and tell you guys like why we have the different kinds of guns and what kinds of animals you can hunt with the guns. This like store has candy from the 80s and 90s. So like when I was a kid in the early 90s, like all the gas stations had some of these different, like there's one called a ring pop. It's like the one that you put on your finger, and it's a sucker. But yeah, this place is super cool. I'm really excited to show it to you. So Eason, I just went to Yosemite 2 months ago. That's freaking cool. Thousand Waves, your grandma always thinks you're hungry. Yes, she does. That's exactly right. Unknown movie guy, I have the same question too. So yeah, we're going to Smith and Edwards. Jade says, 好酷. 她卖很多东西哦. Yeah, she does. She does collect all the things. Rencheng, do you recommend traveling to the US these days concerning the inflation and the zombie city situation like San Francisco? So, yes, the states are safe. It just depends on what states you go to. I wouldn't recommend San Francisco. San Francisco is pretty dangerous. New York, I would hold off on it for the next little bit. That it looks pretty sketchy in New York right now. But if you go to like Texas or Utah or Idaho, you're fine. You're totally fine. There's gonna be tons of fun stuff you can do. And then Kent said guns for hunting. Yes. So Smith and Edwards sells guns for hunting. Like they sell all kinds of stuff, but they even have guns that police can buy there. When I was a kid, they actually used to sell black powder, the stuff that you use for jia yao. They don't sell it anymore, but the reason they would sell it was because farmers would need to get rid of tree stumps. And so they would have to use the black powder to blow it out of the ground. But I don't think they sell it anymore. I think they stopped doing that after 9/11, 9/11. And then Sandy Chun said, every house in the US has a legal gun. It depends on the state. So if you went to California, California is 左派 the state. They're a liberal state. You're going to see a lot less guns in California. But if you go to like a conservative state or a red, we call them red states because the color for our Yule Pie is red, then yeah, a lot more guns. Like in Utah, it's a red state. So you're going to see a lot more guns. I think my dad has 4 or 5 different guns. I have a gun that I keep here. My grandma has her own gun. My cousin Shandy, she actually has a license to carry her gun to work. She works at the airport, and so she has her own gun. So you'll see a lot of people out here that have guns. So it just depends on the state that you're in. So if you're in like Nevada or Idaho or Utah, then yeah, you'll see a lot more guns there. And then Jimmy Heron, Smith & Edwards will open in 3 hours. Let's stay in live stream together. Well, I'm not going today. I'm gonna go on Friday. So it'll be my Friday morning, your Friday night. But it'll be sweet. We'll go together. It's gonna be freaking awesome. But just keep in mind when we're out there, we might have the internet cut out a little bit because it's in the middle of nowhere. But so we might cut out anywhere between like 2 to 10 minutes while we're live streaming, but we'll be able to get back on. So just know that that's normal when we go out there, but it is going to be sweet. I'm excited to take you guys. Easton said, but I think San Francisco is better now. You could be. I haven't been there in a long time. You might be right. Ren Chung, when's the last time you shot? It's been a while. It was like 2 years ago, but my brother keeps wanting to go shooting. He's like, oh, we should go shoot. But the thing is my gun, the sights on my gun, I need to go get them fixed because when I aim with it, I think it's too far to the left. And so luckily my uncle is a cop, and so he'll be able to help me figure that out. But yeah, I'd like to go soon. That'd be fun. Would you guys like to watch me shoot guns? Vivian said, I went to Syracuse University for only 1 semester. Too cold to stay, so I moved to California, Los Angeles. That makes sense. I could see why. Yeah. 1,000 Waves. Nice. Friday night. Yep, Friday night. That's when we're doing it. I'll see an awesome time Friday night. Yep, that's when we're gonna go. And what's cool is when we're going to Smith & Edwards, it's gonna be Black Friday. So Black Friday is the Friday after Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is the 3rd Thursday of November. That's why it's never like a 固定的日期, right? So we'll go, so the next day of Black Friday, all of the stores, because they want people to buy stuff for Christmas, they'll have a bunch of stuff on sale, like for really, really cheap prices. And Smith & Edwards is doing Black Friday too. So when we go, there's gonna be a lot of people there. It'll be kind of cool though, to see all the people there. Jade said, are there bears where you live? Yes, there are. We have black bears and we have grizzly bears. In fact, there's a lake in Utah called Bear Lake. And the reason it's named that was because there was a huge bear and they named it Old Ephraim. And this bear like killed a bunch of people's sheep, and it was so big that the guy had to shoot it like several times in the head with his shotgun, and its skull is still in Washington, D.C. to this day. It's a really famous bear in the United States. But yeah, we have black bears. Black bears aren't that scary. They're kind of cute. All you got to do is make noise and they'll run away. Grizzly bears are scary. There's not a whole lot you can do if they go after you. And then Chen Yijia, the fire behind you is really beautiful. Well, I think so too. It is pretty great. You gotta love the fire. And then Vivian said Black Friday is crazy day. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not gonna be going to Walmart or anything. That's where it's like really crazy because people like get in fights over stuff. Smith & Edwards, you know, it's gonna be an older crowd. It'll be old people, so they're gonna be a lot more polite. Let's see. Una Kai said, 你们会吃烤大鸡大餐吗? Yeah, we'll have 火鸡, yeah. 烤大火鸡, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be super good. The thing that sucks is when I was, let's see, I think it was 11 or 12. That was when my grandpa was alive still. My grandma's first husband. That's my biological grandpa. He would do deep fried turkey. Oh, it's so good. So you get this huge pot, like a big metal pot, and you fill it with oil, and then you hook up the turkey and you dip it in and you fry it. It tastes so good. The problem is it's super dangerous My grandpa was really smart. He never had any accidents. But a lot of people, they don't measure how much oil to put in. And so what ends up happening is when they dip the turkey in, because you have a fire under the pot, right? The oil will go outside of the pot and then it'll catch on fire and it'll cause a huge explosion. Like people have lost their houses with deep fried turkey, which is crazy. Estefan Joe said, are bears attacking people? No, not really. I mean, right now, we don't have a huge bear problem. I know Japan is having a problem, but we don't have that. And then Bruce, when are you gonna teach us how to skateboard? Well, I could teach you guys now. Right now I gotta lose weight. But yeah, an ollie, I could teach you guys that. That's super easy. Whenever you guys want, if you want to live stream, and I could put like the following setting on my camera and you guys could watch me skate. And then I have, yeah, is that John? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, John Hui, dear teacher Adam, I love you. Well, thank you, Timmy. I love you too. You're great. Lara Huang says, is it like Taiwan's? What? I don't know that character. What character is that, guys? That's a good one to know. Gangji Ma. It's I don't think it's like that though. I think I know what you're talking about. It's not like that. It's different. It's like you know what? How about I film it when my grandma makes turkey and I'll show you guys. Vivian said, I love Thanksgiving meal. Yeah, it is pretty good, but it gives you a food coma. Jade says, 直接用火堆烤火鸡吗? No, we'll just put it in the oven. Like, in fact, I have our oven right here. I can show you. So we put it in here. Ken said deep fried turkey, 加火鸡吗? Yeah, deep fried turkey, but it's the whole turkey. You put it in there. Easton said, is Taiwan has flight to Utah directly? No, and they need to. They have a direct flight to Arizona, but it would be nice if you guys had a direct flight out here. Oh, somebody's giving me, so, Ongangji. Okay, I don't know, I've never heard of that before. I'm gonna have to try it though, when I go back to Taiwan. Have a nice day, good luck, love, Timmy. You too, thank you. So Sandy says it's like a roasted chicken. So, ongangji, is that right? Ongangji is like roasted chicken. Then it is like that. It is like that, but it's bigger and it's a slightly different flavor. It's different than like hojiro fan, like that you would get in Jiayi. It's, yeah, but it is a lot like roasted chicken. And then Aini Aiwo said, 大烤箱吗? Yep, that's the oven. Yep, oven, O-V-E-N, oven. And then Renchang says, do you only eat turkey on Thanksgiving? No, we eat all kinds of things on Thanksgiving. But the things that you definitely will have is turkey, stuffing, which is it's like a breaded kind of, like, it's like so hard to describe. It's where you take breadcrumbs and you fry it in on like vegetables and stuff. And then you also have mashed potatoes, so maling shuni. We'll have that too. And then it depends on the family after that. Some people will have, like my family likes to do stuff with cranberry juice. We'll always have some sort of cranberry juice. Some people will have pizza on Thanksgiving. We don't do that. We usually have pizza on Christmas Eve. But yeah, it just depends on the family. And then Chen Yijia said, Thanksgiving and Christmas, which one do you like better? Christmas, absolutely Christmas. Christmas is awesome. I love Christmas. And then Yvonne said, I think it's cool that we have talking here by live stream. That's pretty free and natural. It's a good try. Well, yeah, it's fun talking to you guys. And then Kent said, ongangji is like you put chicken into a big can and kao ta. Yeah, that's kind of like that. Yeah, do you put oil in it too? If you put it in oil and deep fry it, then yeah, it's just like that. Donnie Amy said, ongangji is like you use a big metal can to roast a chicken. This sounds a lot like deep fried turkey. It sounds a lot like that. And then Sandy said, I wonder if people there gather together to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah, people do. Yeah, people usually get together with your family, and it depends on how well you're getting along with your family, because got to move because that fireplace is getting kind of hot. But like we have a joke that like people get together to fight on Thanksgiving. Like people will get into arguments about junk usually on Thanksgiving. My family doesn't really do that though. It's usually just hanging out and eating and having a food coma. A food coma is when you eat so much that it makes you take a nap. And then, oh, Renzo says, sorry, how I meant, do you also eat turkey on other days besides Thanksgiving? Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Christmas. We'll usually do turkey on Christmas, sometimes on Easter, but usually it's Thanksgiving's a big one. Christmas, we'll usually do turkey too. And then Yvonne said, when does it start to get snow normally there? So that's what's super weird is usually November, like late October, early November was the classic time when I was a kid. But now it's kind of shifting. Sometimes it's in December, sometimes it's in October. But my guess, I think this year it's gonna be pretty soon. Like it has all the because like right before it snows, there's a type of cloud that you know it's gonna snow. It's not big and fluffy. It just covers the whole sky and it makes the sky just one flat gray color. When you see that, you know snow. And I've been starting to see clouds that look like, they're starting to look like that. I think it's gonna snow pretty soon. But yeah, usually November, December is when you get it. And then Shifei, sorry if I'm not saying that right. How much is a turkey in the like at the grocery store? So usually like a big turkey would be like 15 bucks. So 15块美金, but I'm not sure how much it costs now because there's a little bit of inflation now. So it might be a little more expensive. And then Timmy says, thank you very much. Love Timmy. Well, thank you too. And then Donnie Amy said, I saw the Jesus photo on the wall. Yep. My grandma loves her Jesus. That's not the only one. I think we got some other ones too. We got one right here too. There's Jesus walking in Jerusalem by the Sea of Galilee. And then I think the one you saw, was it this one right here? And I think we got another one in the hall too. Let me see. So we got lots of Jesus out here. Renchang said, Thanksgiving and Christmas are both family holidays, but there's a month time gap. Do you guys get together while the whole month or go home twice a month? Well, here's the thing. It depends on where in the States. So if you're in Utah, usually people live pretty close together. Like, I mean, the farthest away somebody's gonna live is, you know, maybe a state away, which is like a 2-hour drive. So think about like, it's like driving, well, I guess to you guys, that's really far away. But to us, like driving from Taipei to Taichung is not a big deal. So like, yeah, we'll usually hang out and then drive back home and work and then get back together again on Christmas. But if it's in like the East Coast or like if you're living really far away, then some people will just stay the whole time. So that's like the case for me, like, cause I'm living out in Taiwan, right? So I flew out to the States and I just decided to stay all the way till Christmas because you don't want to fly back and forth. And then Hannah said, could you show some pictures on the wall? Yeah, sure. Do you guys want to see? I actually like these paintings. I've got some Native American paintings. My grandma loves Native American stuff. Got this one too. Let me see. We got another painting of Jesus with a lost sheep because Jesus finds people that are struggling, right? And then this is my family. These are like my cousins. This is my grandpa Wendell when he was in the military. And then Yvonne said, wow, you got a big and beautiful house there. Yeah, my grandma's house is awesome. I love my grandma's house. And then Sandy said, so Americans are like most Taiwan people to gather together in special holidays. Yeah, usually we get together on special holidays for sure. And then I said, wow, cool. Yeah. My grandma has some good paintings up here for sure. Oh, did I show you these flowers over here? I kind of like this one. This is a cool painting. And then we've got this photo of the Tetons. This is actually by Yellowstone. And these, do you guys know why the Tetons are called the Tetons? So if you look at these mountains, you'll see like two big points. Like you have the one there and then the other one right there. So Tetons is actually French for 胸部, because there were some French trappers that saw those mountains and apparently it reminded them of 胸部. And they tried to name the mountains something else, like over and over again, but people kept calling them the Tetons. And so that's what they're called to this day. Okay, Shaniqua said, 那间店除了枪跟糖果以外，还有什么你觉得很酷的东西吗? So, Smith & Edwards, the store that I'm taking you guys to, one of the cool things they have is they have military stuff. So they have like military gear, like helmets that you can wear. They also have tents that you can buy, like military tanks. They have MREs, which is like food that you can get in the army. And usually like you would think it's gross, but there's these things called pound cakes in these and they're so good. Like when I was a kid, when we'd go camping, we'd always take those. I loved them. So you can buy stuff like that. You can buy tools there. Like name a tool, they have it. Any kind of tool. So it's kind of like, it's like if you took, let's see. It's like if you took 全年, 特例屋, and then a bunch of, and 枪店, and then 糖果店, and you take all of them and you just fuse them into one store. That's essentially what Smith & Edwards is. But you can see they have toys there, like really weird, like wooden toys that you wouldn't really be able to find anywhere else. They even have, there's this thing from the 80s called Chia Pets. It's like a little statue thing, and you put seeds in it, and if you put water, so for example, you could get like a Michael Jackson Chia Pet. It would be Michael Jackson's head, and the seeds are where his hair is supposed to be, and then you put water on it, and you take care, and then the seeds grow into his hair. So they have those too. Kent said, why do you have a square hole on your ceiling? Oh, in my grandma's kitchen? So these are actually called skylights. So what this does is when it's daytime, these are windows to the sun. And so the sunlight can come in to the kitchen. So that way you don't have to have the lights on if it's daytime in the kitchen. Because this is pretty deep into the house. So yeah, they're kind of cool. And then Yvonne said, so are you Christian? Lovely photo there. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what you define as Christian. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I'm Mormon. But yeah, we believe in Jesus. Jesus is the whole point of our religion. But yeah. So if you count that, seeing Jesus Christ as the Savior, and then yeah, I'm a Christian. And then Jade said, I like those paintings. Yeah, I do too. I like these ones a lot. These ones are really cool. Sandy said, American adults leave their home to work in faraway cities. Do they often come back to their hometown? For example, some traditional parents ask kids to come back home in USA. How is it? So you're probably thinking like 回娘家, like during 春节, right? Usually for us, the time we come back is Christmas, if we do come back. Some people don't. Some people don't get along with their parents, but I'm sure that happens in Taiwan too. But for the most part, yeah. Christmas and Thanksgiving. And if you can't do both, you choose one of them. Those are the ones where you got to come back. Usually people will want to come back. And then Moria Ma Yuan said, just curious, is the Costco US sold guns? No, they don't sell guns in Costco. I think part of that might be because the guy that owns Costco is Zuo Pai. So he's very anti-gun. He thinks that guns should not be legal in the United States at all. So I could see why he wouldn't sell those in his store. Yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, there's, oh wait, maybe, did I show you this painting over here? This one has like a waterfall. That one's pretty cool too. So yeah. But yeah, if you want to buy guns, like in my opinion, if you're in Utah, best place is Smith and Edwards. They're gonna have any kind of gun you want. It's crazy. It's the best place to do it. And then Huang Kexin, you said, what's the best thing you've ever bought on Black Friday? You know what? I'm trying to think. Usually what I've done, I've actually just made my sister go for me and get something for me. I've just, like if she's going, I'm like, oh, just see. I think my sister got me a video game that I wanted. Kingdom Hearts. I think she got me that on Black Friday. But yeah, like usually me, like I don't like to go to like Walmart just because again, like people get crazy, like crazy. They get in fights and stuff. And nobody's died in Utah, but like in some other places on Black Friday, there's been people that have been like trampled to death because like people wanted like, they're like just 乱抢东西, right? Like it's insane. So like for me, it's just like, I can just wait. I don't want that thing that bad. Sandy said, could you tell me how to pronounce Costco in your country? So here's the thing. That T, if you have ST, but then you have like a K sound after, you can just 把那个 T 完全略掉. So I'll just say Costco. I don't say the T. Like some people say Costco. But that, I mean, most of the time, people will drop that letter because it's faster. Costco. Let's see. And then Thousand Wave said, I would like a classic 1911. Well, maybe we can look for one at Smith and Edwards. We could see if they have any of those. Is Smith and Edwards sold glasses? They might, actually. They might sell glasses. We'll ask. We'll go check it out. Rensheng says, how about IKEA? Like, does Utah have an IKEA? Yes, we do. It's actually, so in Utah, the Utah Valley is split into two sections. You have the part that has Salt Lake, like the northern part, and then you have the part that's the southern part. That's where Provo is. But the part that separates them is this mountain, and the mountain is called Point of the Mountain. It's actually where a lot of people like to go skydiving and stuff. But right at the bottom of that point of the mountain, that place is where our IKEA is, which is weird because it's right next to a jail too. It's a really weird place to put an IKEA, but that's where we have it. Let's see. Anita, why didn't you attend Kudamong's Chinese Monster? My Chinese is okay. I was watching, dude, their Chinese is freaking good. I'd have to practice. I'd have to practice a couple of years before I would feel confident enough to go on there. I was like, holy moly, these guys are freaking good at Chinese. Yeah, but maybe one day. It'd be kind of cool. Be kind of cool to see how well I did. Rencheng said, I meant the pronunciation of IKEA. Oh, my bad, dude. I'm sorry. So yeah, we say IKEA. IKEA. That's the American way of saying it. But I think the because it's a Swedish company, right? Swedish or Swiss? Swiss. But it's like IKEA, or is it IKEA? But yeah, the Americans will say IKEA. Yeah, a lot of people out here. Mormons love IKEA because they like to buy cheap furniture because Mormons have lots of kids, so they need to buy beds for their kids. They need to buy, chairs and stuff. And so if they can get cheap stuff, then they're all about that. Same thing with Costco. The world's biggest Costco is actually in Utah because we like to buy things in bulk. And then Yvonne said, is there Christmas decorations everywhere along the street? You want to go see? Because, yeah, there is. I'll show you. Okay. Out the door. Okay. So do you see this one right here? See if we can get up close so I can show it to you. Okay. So this is actually my grandma's neighbor. His name's Gordy. He's really nice. But his Christmas lights are designed to look like icicles. And that's why they're blue. See if I can zoom in so you can see. So you see how they look like blue icicles? Jade said, oh, Shaniqua said, 你不冷吗? No, I'm used to it. I've grown up in this, you know? And then if you can see over here, we've got these like purple and yellow lights. We've got these, and then we even have a house up the street. I don't know if I can, well, maybe I could just go up and show you, because they have it's pretty cool. The lights are alternating. And then it was Jade. After you become adults, you and your family will exchange gifts at Christmas? Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how well people are doing financially. Like if we're making a ton of money, then the gifts will be bigger. But if we're not doing as good, maybe we just make something for each other. Just depends. And then Lu Bixiong said impressive. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And then Thousand Waves said cool. And then Ren Cheng said, normally, when do people like to 上班族 start taking off Christmas holiday? So of December. That's usually where you start to see school getting off. That's when you start to see people taking off work. Let's see if you guys can see this house yet. It's up. Almost there. Do you see that house back there? With the red and the yellow? It's cool because the lights are like alternating. Jumong said, how to say 你有很好的听察力 in English, because I got your description of 你快下学的你要下学的学的样子 in English. So let's see. 你有很好的听察力. What's the difference between 听察力 and 听力? Because if it's just like 听力, you just say you're like your listening is good. We'll just say it like it's a separate skill. Okay, wait. I've got to the house. Check this out. Isn't that cool? Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, it's really dark. I'll head back to the house. It is kind of cold, yeah. But check out the mountains. The sun's starting to come up. Do you see that big shadow right here? That's the mountain range. And then, Thousand Waves, what internet service are you using? I'm using T-Mobile. Oh, 观察力, my bad. 观察力, that would be like, you're really good at observing things. And then Yvonne said, wow, the house are cool. And Lu Bixiong said, assume that he's asking how to describe what you are good at observation. Exactly, yeah, 观察力. What time is it right now? So right now it is, that was Shifei that asked that. It's 早上6点44. And then Eva said, 感觉每户家里都会有一棵超大的圣诞树. Not yet. You can't put up your Christmas tree until after Thanksgiving. At least most people are that way. Some people do it early and they're weirdos, but at least in my family, we don't put up our Christmas trees until after. And then Lu Bixiong said, 刚刚有朋友问如果你有很好的观察力. Okay, yeah. Observation, yeah. 观察 is to observe. You're really observant. Like if you say there, 观察力很好. Okay, let us go back in the house. Yep. So, yeah, those are those houses out there. Shaniqua said, 美国几点才会天亮? Well, right now, it takes a little bit longer. So usually the sun, if it's in the winter, the sun doesn't come up until later. So like 7:40, like 早上7点40, or like 早上8点左右. But like when it gets into the, like deep in the winter, you don't start seeing the sunrise until like 8点半. And then Rencheng said, when did black cell become a thing in the US? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm guessing probably the 50s. And here's why I think that. Because after World War II, the US economy started to get huge. And people were trying to buy more things and do more things, right? And so I'm guessing that's probably where that tradition started, because people wanted to sell, so they would have a huge sell after Thanksgiving. And then Unakai said, 你们的圣诞树会摆多久？一个月吗？ Usually, it depends on how lazy you are. So, usually you don't do it past, like, the first week of January. But some people will do it before. It just depends, you know? But yeah, usually you do it for, like in my family, Thanksgiving Day, like, it was not uncommon for us as kids. Like, as soon as we were done eating, like, food on Thanksgiving, we would go straight down to the basement and pull out our Christmas tree, because we have one of those big plastic ones. In fact, when I put that up, I'll show you guys when we put the Christmas tree up. So, like, as soon as Thanksgiving was over, that's when we would put it up. Lu Bixiong, could I have a good sense of vision? No, that'd be like your 视力. That's different. And vision also can be used in an artistic way. So like that would be like, you know, like he has a vision of what he wants his story to be, or he has a vision of what he wants what she wants this painting to look like, right? So it's a little bit different. It's a different vibe. And then Eva said, 亚当老师，你说的意思是，其实我听不大懂。感恩节后才能放圣诞树吗？ Like, it's not like a real 规定 but 那就是我自己的想法啦。如果是我家庭的话，你不能在感恩节前摆你的圣诞树。You gotta wait for it to be over first. And then, let's see. Sandy said, a Christmas tree is like a symbol of 春联 in Taiwan. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like how it's similar to like a 春节, like kind of the like not in Taiwan, or like the 红纸吗? Because yeah, it's definitely similar. It's like a similar vibe, if that's what you're saying. Because what's weird is that tradition of a Christmas tree comes from Germany. It's actually older than the tradition of Christmas before. Let's see. Does the store that you want to go sell Christmas trees? I don't think they sell Christmas trees there. That's the one thing they don't have. They might sell plastic ones, like little ones. And then Shifei said, do people still buying real tree for Christmas now? Some people do. My friend Scott and I, when I was a kid, his family, they get a real Christmas tree every single year, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, because a real Christmas tree, it smells amazing. Like your whole house smells like a pine tree, and it is kind of cool. The problem is they have a lot of like sap. That's that like, is that called 树枝吗? It's like the sticky stuff that comes out of a tree. You have a lot of sap, and then you have a lot of pine needles that fall on the floor, which is a pain in the butt. Spring couplets. Oh, so yeah, I guess we would call that like spring knots. Like, and then Eva said, oh, I get it now. Thank you. And then, good. I'm glad. That's awesome. And then Yvonne said, thank you for showing us outdoors. That's awesome. You are a professional. Please don't get cold. My bad. Sorry, but thanks. It's fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that cold to me. It's fine. Lu Bixiong, the fragrant comes from the branches. It comes from the sap, from that sticky stuff inside of the stuff that's inside the tree. But it smells so good. I love the smell of pine trees. It's one of my absolute favorite smells. And then Kent said, there's one time I went to the US during Thanksgiving holiday. It was crowded. I bet it was crowded. There's like everybody's families get together during Thanksgiving. I bet that was crazy. Yeah. I'd say, I'm trying to think where the like worst place to go. Probably New York, honestly. New York is crazy because in New York, it gets really crowded on Thanksgiving because they have a thing called the Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's sponsored by a store called Macy's. And there is like, I think there was a float that was, one was 七龙珠, another one was 我的英雄学院. And then they have like Snoopy and Spider-Man and all these other different things. So like people from all over the world come to watch this parade, and it's crazy crowded. It's insane. So yeah, like there's any place that I wouldn't go again during Thanksgiving, it would probably be those places. But that's me. I kind of like it out in the middle of nowhere. I like it where it's just out in the country, you're with your family, you know, just at a chill place. Sandy said, you 刚刚看起来不会冷. How do you say that in English? You say, you just barely, you didn't look like you were that cold. So just barely, 刚刚, you didn't look like you were that, 你不会那么冷. Like it's like, you didn't look that cold. How is that? You know, that's usually how we would say that. So yeah, and that's the thing is like I said, the cold in Utah is different than like the cold in Taiwan, because Taiwan is that humid cold, so it's wet. It's harder to get away from it. In Utah, I mean, if you're moving, because like just barely, I was sitting by the fireplace, right? So it's not that cold. Like, or you know, if you put on some clothes, like put on an extra layer, you're fine. That's the cool thing about dry cold. Yvonne, do you get up this early every day or just for us? Nope, just for you. Just for you guys. No, I usually don't like to get up crazy early. And then Anita said, will you eat turkey? Will you all eat turkey together? Yeah, we will. We will definitely all eat turkey. Because that's what you do as a family on Thanksgiving. And if you're wondering why I say turkey instead of turkeys, if I said turkeys, that would mean I would have a bunch of different, like 有几只火鸡, but it's just 同一只火鸡的肉. So even if it's a lot of roe, it's still the same turkey, right? We're all eating turkey. A Thousand Waves says, Macy just remind me of a movie called Home Alone. That's a good movie. I love that one. That's one I watched for sure on Christmas. It's a good movie. Yeah, everybody likes to watch Home Alone during the holidays. Mao said, good morning, Adam. Are you the only one that's awake in the house? Yep, but I told them. They said, that's okay. They sleep pretty good. I've got my brother, his wife's here, and then my grandma's here too. But they're pretty cool. They said, no, just do it in the living room. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I've got a good family. But yeah. This is pretty fun talking to you guys. What was I gonna tell you guys about too? I told you about we were talking about I was talking to you guys about Home Alone. What was it that oh yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys know that in Home Alone they had what is that called? John Williams. Do you guys know who John Williams is? He's like he does all the music for, you know, E.T., the theme for E.T. He did the music for Star Wars, the music for Indiana Jones. He did it for Home Alone, and he also did it for Harry Potter. And what's crazy is the director, the 导演 for Home Alone, is the same director for Harry Potter, the first and the second Harry Potter, which is crazy because when you look at those movies, it has that same vibe. Rabbit said, are you sleepy? Not now. When I got up, I was really sleepy, but I'm fine now. Hua Mao said, you have a lovely family. Yeah, my family's awesome. I have a great family, a really good family. But yeah, no. Yeah, Home Alone is a good one. That movie is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. And then Sandy Chun said, Aliens, Avatar. So that's a different director. So Aliens, the director is James Cameron. That's the one who did Titanic. He's also the one that did Avatar, Terminator. But the music, I don't think he did. It's not the same composer. You can tell. If it's John Williams, you can tell because all of his music sounds the same. He's really smart because John Williams, whenever he would write he would just write a bunch of music at once. It wouldn't be for any movie. He would just write, oh, this is going to be for like a scary moment in a movie. Here's going to be a moment where somebody's really excited. And then he would wait, and then somebody say, hey, we want to hire you to do Indiana Jones. Then he would write a theme song just for that movie and then use all the other music before. He's really smart like that. But yeah, if you listen to like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, all the music sounds really similar. Yvonne said, oh, you deserve a hot coffee for now. Do you guys get used to make breakfast by yourself at home? Well, I can't have coffee because my church doesn't let me drink coffee. But I usually make my own breakfast in the morning. And then Hua Mao said, I love Home Alone. The leading kid in the movie is so cute. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin is the kid in that movie. He's a great guy. He's so good. He had a really hard life after those movies. Because usually when you're a movie star as a kid, it's just too much fame. And so he got into drugs and his life was really rough. But he met a lady. She was on the Disney Channel. But she's just helped him. She's been so good for him. His wife has just made him a way better person, which is just awesome to see. 爱你爱我，谢谢亚当的直播，内容很好，可以多听学英文。Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it. And then Shaniqua said, 我们是星期五几点去那间店直播呢? Okay, so I'm gonna be going there at 8:30. So that's going to be your guys' 晚上11点半 on Friday. But it's worth it. It's totally worth it. I know it's late, but it's cool. You guys definitely want to see it. And you guys will get to see the mountains in the daytime because the sun will be up. You know, I'll be able to show you stuff as we drive over. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, I'm really excited to take you guys to Smith & Edwards. I think you guys will dig it. It's really cool. And we'll get to talk about some things. And my dad will be with us too. So we'll be able to talk to my dad. And what's good is I'm taking my dad because I can shoot guns. Like I'm an okay shot. But my dad like knows about guns. He's been raised around guns his whole life. So it'll be fun because he'll be able to say, okay, well, this gun's for this, and this is what you hunt with that. And he'll be able to point some stuff out. But yeah, I think you guys will like it. Sandy says, it's a bit like to come to a group of Daiko. Yeah, it kind of is, huh? It kind of is. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys come out, it would be so sweet if you guys came out to Smith & Edwards. Because then you could like actually be in the store and see the vibe of the store, which is, it's so fun. It's a good time. It really is. But yeah, I am really stoked to take you guys there. My dad will be there. Hopefully my brother comes. Because my brother was telling me he's thinking about maybe buying a gun. If he does go and he does buy a gun, then you guys get to see him buy a gun. But I can't guarantee it because I don't know. I don't know if he's made up his mind yet. And then Jumong said there are hanging ornaments behind you on the window, which have a very Christmas style. Oh, these? Yeah. I don't think those were for Christmas. I think that's just my grandma's style. Oh, it has a very Chinese style, not Christmas style, Chinese style. Yeah, they kind of do, huh? Yeah. My grandma, her favorite color is the same. Me and her have the same favorite color. It's turquoise. It's this type of blue. So it's like blue with a little bit of green in that. That's called turquoise. She loves this color, and I love that color too. My grandma's always wearing turquoise and has turquoise stuff all over the place. 代购 in English. Sandy Chan, by the way, how do you say 代购 in English? I'm not sure. Maybe like a group, like a group shopping event, or let's see. That's a tough one because it'd be like shopping in person for somebody online. That's the thing, is that one's not easy to directly translate over. But you just say like it's like somebody taking you through a store and buying things for you or showing you what you can buy there. And then Stefan Joe said turquoise. Yep, that's exactly how you spell it. Best color. It's my favorite color and my grandma's favorite. And then Hua Mao said, are you going to keep the recording of this live streaming? I wasn't there when you just started it. I would like to watch it from the beginning later when this stream ends. Yeah, we'll have it from the beginning. You'll be able to watch it from the beginning. But yeah, I think we're going to end it here pretty soon. But it's been fun talking to you guys. I'm really excited to take you guys to Smith & Edwards. I will see all of you guys on Friday. Your guys' Friday night. 11点半. Oh, but before I go, Yvonne said, will we hear gunshot bang when your brother shows us? I don't think, no, you can't shoot the gun in the store. But if he buys a gun, again, I can't guarantee you guys that he's gonna get a gun. But if he does, then maybe we'll go shooting, and you guys can see him shoot his new gun. Then Esteban said, I really like your online course because you speak Chinese. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's a good time. All right, well, I will see you guys on Friday. It was fun. Talk to you guys later.